With everything that you need to know about your world and authentically so, we are right here with India Tonight on ET Now. I'm Supriya Srinath.
Hi there, I'm Sandeep Gurumurthy joining you live from our news centre in Mumbai and straight to the big story that we are tracking tonight. Vijay Mallya may be having a good time in London, but it's a slugfest between the Modi government and the opposition in Parliament. The battle over Mallyagate today rocked the Rajya Sabha, with the Congress accusing the government of a criminal conspiracy to facilitate a smooth exit for the former liquor baron. The main opposition party also said despite several warnings by their lawyers, government-owned banks did little to prevent his exit.
Hitting right back at the Congress, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley invoked cockroaches, saying that the party which couldn't stop the Bofors agent from fleeing from India has no right to talk about Malya's exit right now. Meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate today issued summons to Kingfisher CFO A. Raghunath and former IDBI Bank CMD Yogesh Agarwal in the money laundering case. The big question, however, remains, will the ED and CBI be able to nail down Mallya, and what can the government do to bring Vijay Mallya back to India? And more importantly, will the banks get their 9,000 crore rupees back from once the king of good times? This is our top story right here on India Tonight.
जब इतनी एजेंसियां उसकी इंट्रोगेशन कर रही थी, उसको अरेस्ट क्यों नहीं किया गया? उसको गिरफ्तार क्यों नहीं किया गया? उसका पासपोर्ट जब्त क्यों नहीं हुआ था? मेरा यह आरोप है कि उसके भागने में, उसके देश छोड़ने में यह सरकार पार्टी है। इस कॉन्स्पिरेसी में, इस क्रिमिनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी में भारत सरकार पार्टी बनानी चाहिए।
पार्लियामेंट ने जो नियम बनाए हैं, उन नियमों के अंतर्गत वही व्यक्ति सदन का सदस्य होगा, दिवालिया ना हो, भगोड़ा ना हो, राष्ट्र के खिलाफ गतिविधियों में लिप्त ना हो, ये सब चीजें उसमें दी हुई है। श्रीमान, इस सदन का एक सदस्य अगर वो सदन में चुन के आया है और उन शर्तों को तोड़ देता है, तो या तो एथिक कमेटी को जाए, एथिक कमेटी अपनी क्योंकि इसके पहले मैंने देखा लोकसभा में 1,000 रुपए पे लोगों की चली गई, यहाँ 9,000 करोड़ का मामला सदस्य का, और उसके बाद वो बना रहे।
ओके, शरद यादव जी, आप बोलिए, उसके बाद आई विल गो टू सिरोर। I want to see if any more discussion is needed on this subject.
ने जो सवाल उठाया है और जो सदन के नेता ने जवाब दिया है, अजीब हालत है। यानी इस देश के जो पैसे वाले थैली शाह हैं, ऐसे कानून बने हुए हैं कि उनका कुछ बिगड़ नहीं सकता। यानी ये आदमी के बारे में इतना सब कुछ घपला होने के बाद ये देश से बाहर चला गया।
आप इसके बारे में नोटिस दीजिए, नोटिस दीजिए।
The leader of the house tried to portray that all the loans that were given to this industrialist were during UPA 1 and UPA 2. But that is not the issue that I am raising today.
He gave only the date.
So what I want to raise today is that evidence has surfaced this morning that on the 28th of February, the banks met the lawyers, and the lawyers told the banks to file a petition in the court on the 29th of February to prevent Mr. Mallya from leaving India. The banks did not file the case till the 5th of March. Till the 5th of March, the case was not filed. The Attorney General makes the admission that Mr. Mallya has left for London on the 2nd of March.
Vijay Durga. What is this?
अभी हमने जेटली जी से पूछा, क्लियर सवाल पूछा, जेटली जी आप हमें बताइए, माल्या जी हिंदुस्तान से भाग के कैसे निकले? अगर उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई हो रही है, अगर उनके ऊपर नोटिस है, लुकआउट नोटिस है, तो वो राज्यसभा में क्या कर रहे हैं? देश से निकलकर माल्या जी चले गए। इस सवाल का जवाब जेटली जी ने नहीं दिया। लंबा भाषण दिया कि ये हुआ, वो हुआ, वो हुआ, वो हुआ। सवाल ये था कि ये जो भागे हैं, इनको आपकी सरकार ने भागने क्यों दिया? 9,000 करोड़ रुपए जिन्होंने सरकार से चोरी किए हैं, उनको आपने निकलने क्यों दिया? इसका जवाब कोई नहीं आया।
लेकिन राहुल जी ये याद रखें कि माल्या का बाहर जाना और कोथरोची का बाहर जाना दोनों में एक मूल अंतर था। और उनको मैं अंतर समझा दूं कि जब स्विट्जरलैंड के अधिकारियों ने इत्तला की कि बोफोर्स के बेनिफिशरीज में कोथरोची भी हैं और जो सीबीआई की इन्वेस्टिगेशन हेड कर रहे थे पहले के माधवन, उन्होंने उसी वक्त पत्र लिखा कि इनका पासपोर्ट इंपाउंड कर लिया जाए, तो उनको रोका नहीं था उस वक्त की सरकार ने और 2 दिन में वो भारत छोड़ गए थे। यहां तो जिस दिन उन्होंने छोड़ा उस दिन अभी कानूनी प्रक्रिया आरंभ नहीं की थी बैंक्स ने। बेहतर होता पहले कर देते बैंक्स। मैंने संसद में डेट्स दी हैं कि 2004-2007 में ये सारे लोन सैंक्शन हुए, 2009 में ये एनपीए हुए और एनपीए के बाद भी 2010 में उसको रिस्ट्रक्चर कर दिया गया। अगर श्री राहुल गांधी को ये डेट्स भी समझ में नहीं आई और इसके पीछे मैं क्या कह रहा था, तो आप उनकी सहायता कर देना ये समझाने।
All right, the gloves are truly off between the opposition and the Treasury benches as far as Vijay Mallya is concerned. But we've been tracking every move of that big story right here in India and all the way in London as well. And joining us on the show, Utkarsh Chaturvedi, all the way from Mumbai, and also joining us all the way from London are Danish Khan and Gilbert Jonathan, joining us actually right outside Mallya's hideout in London. Gilbert, then to you first. There are indeed some similarities that seem to exist in both Lalit Modi and Vijay Mallya, and they're fleeing to Britain. What makes the Great Britain country a viable option for all of these defaulters?
Yes, there are clear parallels here, obviously, with our good friend Lalit Modi and Mr. Mallya himself, but they're by no means unique. I mean, what you've got to understand is that really the British government had a concerted policy for many decades now of rolling out the red carpet for wealthy foreigners, not only people from the Indian subcontinent, but of course the Russians arrived in droves over the last couple of decades, the Middle Easterners, those millionaires and billionaires from the Gulf states have been here for 30 or 40 years. Recently, even the Chinese now have started buying up prime central London property. The reasons are very simple. It's a very quiet, pacific country with a very low level of crime, an established rule of law. The judiciary is essentially independent and impartial, so they can fight their legal battles here without fear of prejudice. In terms of society, there are superb schools for their children, fantastic shopping for their wives or mistresses or whatever. And perhaps most importantly of all, and this may well apply to Mr. Mallya for all I know, is that many of these wealthy foreigners enjoy what's known as non-dom status. So effectively, they can enjoy all the advantages of living in the UK and pay no tax whatsoever on their overseas earnings.
Right, Danish, Gilbert told us the reasons why Mallya chose the UK as his getaway option, but part of the UK that he has chosen to settle in is a fairly small, quaint town, and given his flamboyant lifestyle, his house is nothing short of a mansion. Any giveaways yet that Mallya is indeed in Tevin, where you're reporting from right outside the small town on the outskirts of London?
As you can imagine, it's spread across huge acres of land. So definitely there's always some maintenance works happening out there. We could see a lot of workers coming out, going in. There is a buzz, of course, inside here, simply because it's spread over acres and acres of land, and that requires maintenance. And that in fact is one important aspect of British country life, where you have to maintain the property that you are in. And Vijay Mallya, of course, has been spotted by locals as well. That's what we have been saying. We spoke to so many locals. We went to pubs as well, where people have said that they have seen Vijay Mallya in his flashy cars driving around. In fact, they have also noticed the F1 logo India. They said, on cars in the streets here. It's a very small village, a very small, close-knit community where most of the people know each other. They know if someone new has arrived. In fact, they also keep track of people's guests. simply because it's very easy to spot a new person, just as we have been spotted in this tiny village. People have just woken up to realize what exactly is happening.
All right, Danish and Gilbert, hold your thoughts there because we've got to get the story back home here in India. And the Enforcement Directorate today did issue summons to Kingfisher Airlines CFO A. Raghunath and senior IDBI bank officials in connection with the money laundering charges that have been levelled against Mr. Mallya. No summons, however, have been issued to Vijay Mallya just yet. For the benefit of our viewers, let's put that out. And Utkarsh Chaturvedi, who broke that story earlier in the day today, is joining us in Mumbai to take that story forward. The Enforcement Directorate seems to be finally getting its act together. The news indeed tightening around Vijay Mallya, Utkarsh, but the million-dollar question is, when can we expect the entire questioning to begin?
Supriya, there is at this point of time three aspects to the whole ED investigation which is taking place. Now, the first one is obviously that the IDBI bank officials as well as Kingfisher CFO is being questioned. Now, I remember ED has got some documents from IDBI on the basis of which they'll be probing both of them. Now, the second aspect here is that the ED really wants to get this whole investigation into a wider approach, and that's why they have asked all the other lenders to come and chip in and talk about transactions which have been done by Kingfisher Airlines. And the third, which you asked the question, the million-dollar question, is when they will ask Vijay Mallya to question. Now, the sense which we are getting from our ED officials is that they really want to do their groundwork properly, get all the documents ready, and then get to Vijay Mallya. And that is the reason why they're taking all the time. The second, one more thing which we are picking up from ED is that they're not going to act lightly here. They're going to do all the questioning very swiftly in the next couple of days. They have asked the IDBI bank officials as well as the Kingfisher CFO to come, and you can expect the other people, whether it be Ravi Nedung.
I think we've just lost that live link there with Utkarsh, who of course broke that story on how the Enforcement Directorate is likely to move next as far as this particular probe is concerned. I want to check if we've got Utkarsh back. While we get him back on the live link from right outside the ED office, remember our sister channel Times now spoke to former IDBI Bank Chairman and Managing Director Yogesh Agarwal, who's now been summoned by the ED, like Utkarsh just reported. He's under scanner for allegedly disbursing a loan worth 350 crore rupees to Vijay Mallya even before the loan was sanctioned by the bank. Let's listen into that conversation.
When Mallya came to me, his airline was nearing grounding because he had dues to pay to the airport authorities, and unless money was released urgently, he said that his airline will be grounded. So 150 crore was given as a short-term loan as an interim measure, and that was much before even the 200 crore was given later.
So the point here what the CBI is trying to make is that the entire tranche which was given by IDBI was diverted by Kingfisher and misused by Kingfisher.
I don't know. That I have no knowledge of. I only sanction loans.
Yeah, exactly. So, sir, my question to you is: once you sanction a loan, now if
I can't get into a discussion with you on this diversion of funds and all that. Okay. I think we'll have to, because I don't have the CBI report with me. Okay. So not fair for me to comment on what CBI has said or not said.
I have a copy of the FIR which the CBI mentions that when you sanction that 200 crore loan, which you say is because as the position of the chairman, you have the right to put that. The CBI thinks that 200 crore loan which you personally sanctioned was the one which was
please, for God's sake, you people, everybody poses to be a financial expert. Please, I did not sanction the 200 crore loan. As chairman of a bank, I don't have a single rupee personal authority to sanction any loan. My juniors have authority. I don't have my authority. My authority I exercise only through the board of which I am the chairman. I don't have any personal authority. So 200 crore was given by the board, and in anticipation I released it. That is my authority.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.